Have you ever just looked at your hand? I mean, really looked at it? It seems pretty straightforward, right? But what you're actually looking at is one of the most complex, most beautifully organized systems in the entire universe. And it's not just your hand, it's every living thing. So, how does it all work? Well, today we're going to peel back the layers and take a look at the master plan that builds life itself, right from the ground up.
So let's just jump right in and get personal. What are you really made of? No, I don't mean metaphorically. I mean, what are the actual physical pieces that are at this very second all working together to make you, well, you? That's the big question we're about to unravel. To really get a handle on the building blocks, we've got to start with the finished product first. And that's you, the organism. But here's a little secret. It really helps to think of yourself less as one single thing and more like a huge bustling community. So let's start at the very top of that community and zoom our way in.
Okay, so at the highest level, we have the organism. That's just a complete individual living being. It could be a person, a frog, a giant redwood tree. What makes it an organism is that it's capable of independent life. It survives because all of its internal, cooperative parts are humming along together perfectly. But what are those parts?
And that's the real question, isn't it? Those cooperative parts. An organism isn't just one solid thing. It's actually a collection of incredibly organized systems, almost like different departments in a giant corporation. So come on, let's peel back that first layer and meet the department heads.
Say hello to the organ systems. These are the major departments of the body. In animals, you've got your digestive system, which is kind of like the fuel and energy department. Then there's the respiratory system, handling air intake, and the circulatory system, which is basically the company's delivery service. And hey, plants have them too. The root system is like the mining division, and the shoot system, the stems and leaves, that's the solar power division. All right, so if the organ systems are these big departments, then who are these specialized employees doing all the critical day-to-day work? You guessed it. We're going to zoom in one more level and meet the specialists. And that brings us to the organs. You should think of an organ as a dedicated specialist. It's a structure made up of different parts, sure, but they are all united with one single critical purpose. The heart's only job? To pump. The lungs' only job? To exchange gas. They are absolute masters of their trade. And this idea of specialization, it holds true all across the living world. For an animal, the stomach is an organ built specifically for digestion. The lungs? Built for breathing. For a plant, a leaf is basically a little solar-powered food factory, and a root is an expert at pulling in water and nutrients. They look totally different, but it's the same principle. Specialized tools for specialized jobs. So, what are these specialist organs actually made of? Yep, we're zooming in again. We're going from the individual specialist to the team that makes their work possible. We have now arrived at the level of tissue. And a tissue is basically a team of cells that are all the same, all grouped together to do one specific part of an organ's bigger job. They are, quite literally, the very fabric that organs are woven from. What this means is your bicep is made of muscle tissue. That's just billions of cells all lined up to contract together. Your skin is made of epidermal tissue. And get this, even blood is considered a type of connective tissue. Plants have their own teams too, of course, like the waxy skin on a leaf, called epidermal tissue, or the vascular bundles that act like the plant's internal plumbing. Okay, we've come a long way down. We've gone from the whole organism to the system, from the system to the organ, and from the organ to the tissue. And now we are about to hit bedrock, the absolute foundation of everything. And here we are, the cell. This is it, the ultimate building block, the bedrock. Every single level we just talked about, tissues, organs, systems, is just a different, more complex way of arranging these tiny living units. This is the most basic piece of life as we know it. And these cells, they're not all cookie-cutter copies of each other. They specialize. You have muscle cells designed specifically to contract, nerve cells built to send signals, and blood cells whose whole purpose is to carry oxygen. In plants, you've got epidermal cells that form a protective skin and conducting cells that build the pipelines for water. Each one is a tiny master of its craft. So everything, absolutely everything, starts right here, at the cellular level. And from this one single starting point, all of life's incredible complexity comes from one fundamental choice. Do you go it alone, or do you join a team? Life really boils down to that choice. You can be a single-celled organism, like an amoeba or a bacterium, where that one lonely cell has to do everything: eat, breathe, move, reproduce, all on its own. Or you can be multi-celled, where trillions of cells get together and divide up all the labor. And that specialization, that teamwork, is what allows for the amazing complexity of organisms like us.
Okay, we've taken it all apart. We journeyed from a complete person all the way down to a single tiny cell. Now, for the grand finale, let's put all the pieces back together and see that beautiful master plan in action one more time.
And here is how it all stacks back up in this elegant, logical pyramid. You start with specialized cells, the basic building blocks. Those cells team up to form tissues. Different tissues then assemble to create organs with a specific job. Those organs cooperate in organ systems. And finally, all of those systems come together to form the complete functioning organism. That's the blueprint from a single cell to your complex self.
So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. If you aren't really a single you, but you're actually a highly coordinated community of trillions upon trillions of individual cells, all working together in perfect harmony, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who or what is conducting that incredible biological symphony?